I love that picture of you.
Aw, thank you.
So beautiful.
Aw, thanks. I really love that myself. One moment. Yay.
Yay.
Okay, let me drop you the link. I'm going to tweet about that as well. Where can I find my link? Good. Okay, we're here. Shareable link. Okay, I'm dropping to your DM.
Okay, do I need to exit out of this?
No need. You can
Okay.
just you can minimize it, I think, if you know how to do that. Yeah.
Like that?
I
think that works.
No.
Okay. It says you sent me a link.
I sent you a link on Twitter.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Do I play it?
You can share it. Otherwise I'm just sharing it. Okay, one moment.
Okay.
If you want to just retweet it.
Oh yeah. Let me retweet it.
Gonna tag you then.
Beautiful.
Okay, you probably get a notification on Twitter.
Beautiful. We're good to go. Retweeted it. We're good to go.
Yes.
Yay.
Hi everyone, and hi Jess. Welcome to Slice of Life.
Hi.
Yeah. I totally got the date wrong, so I'm just like, I'm still recovering from that.
I didn't even process it. I would just went along with it. I was like, oh, October 6th. Okay.
And I was like looking for my link today, and I was just like, hey, where's the link? And I'm like, hey, I can't find my appointment. I'm just like, wait, what? October 6th?
Like 3 weeks back. You gotta time travel back to 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. I was like
so
laughing at myself.
It's so weird that it even gives you like that option to choose a date that's already passed. Like, what?
Yeah, I know, right? I was just like, wait, what? Excuse me?
I like love that I didn't even like care. I was like, oh, October 6th. Okay, whatever. Like, sure.
I love that.
Oh my God.
We both be like, okay, let's time travel.
Our chill sign energy, like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I love that. And I love your energy. Like, every time I look at you and your practices, like whatever that you're showing online, it's just that there's so down to earth energy to you. And I really, really love it. And I just want to, hey, Jess, let's talk about this. And because it's like something so important right now, there's so many people, all those practitioners that I see online and offline, there are a lot of them are focusing too much on spirituality. It's just that everything is spiritual to them. It's like, yeah, it's like having a bad dream, that's spiritual. Having something went wrong in their life, someone suddenly hacks their way. Okay. Sometimes I'm just like, what if it is just life,
It is so saturated. It is so beyond saturated that from my perspective, it's like, it's not even taken seriously anymore. Like, you could see a coin on the ground and somebody with a large amount of followers will like take a picture and it's like, guys, we're all gonna get $1,000 in the next week if you like and retweet this.
Yes.
No, that's not. You have to go work for your money. You have to be in alignment. It's like, it's really lazy. And I know I'm a Capricorn and that's not saying a lot, but really lazy and icky. And once again, very saturated. Like it's very hard for me to respect, like honestly, full disclosure, I'm not even really on Twitter like that. Like I was on it for like 20 minutes tonight and I was like, oh my god, like this is the most I've been on it. Like I'm not really on it like that anymore. Like I don't even post my tarot stuff. Like there is a part of me that has like outgrown that. And then like literally today I was like, should I go back to doing like my card of the day? But then it's like there's a lot of vulnerable people also in the community. I think that's really important too. Like I don't think these people want to admit, but like they're predators. Like in a very like long-winded way, they are. Because it's like they know these people are vulnerable. Like I once had a client come to me and she was like, okay, like can I also like, because I was like, whatever questions you want to ask, she's getting a tarot reading. And she wanted to talk about her twin flame. And I was like, okay, now hold up. Like, what makes you think this person is your twin flame? And she's like, oh, well, I went to another tarot reader and she said that. And I was like, honestly, like I need to be 100% honest with you. There's like a really high chance that she was just bullshitting you to get more money out of you. I'm like, please give me, like, if you feel comfortable, a few reasons why you think that person is your twin flame. And she's like, well, I just feel really connected and stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's like valid for you. But it's just, it's so scammy. Like half these people don't even know what shadow work is.
Mic drop. Mic drop.
I saw a tweet from this girl, I don't even know her name, but she was like, you get a head wrap, you do some meditation, and you buy some crystals, and you think you can like go and charge people money. Like, oh God, this is my ego talking, but like, I feel like people like you and I who have, and this is not saying people who are like this also haven't done the work or have gone through shit, but like you need to go through like one or two dark nights of the soul to really understand what this is about. And I truly feel like, because listen, like 2015, like 20 early 2018, I I was these people. Like I really was. Like I was not even in my body for like 3 years because I was literally just in the 5D every day. Oh my God, 333, angel number. Oh my God, like my meal came out to 1616. Like, oh my God, like I had a dream about, this person, their thing, like just and not grounded at all. And that honestly, I feel most grounded when I'm not doing my spiritual practices a lot of the time. And that's the phase I'm in right now. That's the cool thing about life, not even like spirituality, but life is you go through phases. And like, yeah, I have like my tarot cards. I did 2 readings today. Like I have, my crystals laying out and stuff, but I'm also super grounded in reality. And I know that like if I see a penny on the ground, it doesn't mean I'm going to get $1,000. It just probably means, maybe a loved one's trying to say hi. Maybe somebody dropped it, on their way to the bus stop, whatever. I also would like to add that, and I'm speaking for myself too, part of life, and I think just simply getting by with life, because life can be crazy, is giving things meaning. Like everything has to have a meaning.
Yes.
But there's also like a fine line between like, okay, we can give things a meaning, but then like you're also like avoiding, like there's an avoidance of something, or you're like living in a state of delusion. And it's really important to balance like being straight up delusional with just like trying to give meaning to things. And I think that's where a lot of people in the spiritual community lose themselves, and it's really hard for them to get in alignment with that. So
yeah, it just feel like I think I can personally relate to that. Like as you were saying as well, like 2008, 2015, 2018, around there. Just when you are starting, like just new to the spirituality, the community itself, it just feel like there is so much. Like literally it overwhelms you. It swept you off your feet, and everyone is like astral travel and Akashic record, Reiki, and you're just like, wait, what?
what
It's
is
just
all
like
this?
Yeah.
No, I was repeating after you, like, what is all this?
Yeah, what is all this? And like everything just like swamps you over and sweep you off your feet, and you feel like, hey, I have to do this to be as good as that person is showing themselves. Okay. And from there, it's like it is kind of like an ego talking, because it is becoming that comparison. Once you get into that, it's like you always want to be like compared to the better person, the bigger accounts, Yeah. So, and as you mentioned, like the bypassing, like the avoidance, the spiritual bypassing is a very, very real thing, because we all don't want to face the shit in our life, like literally. Like, who wants to go and
Who
take a look
wants
at
to who?
their life,
I
like their life choices? Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, my life choices. Like, who wants to, go in and introspective on that? Like my
did.
job choices. Maybe I'm not happy.
I do. What? No.
Yeah. I was there. Like, I was not happy with my life. I was not happy with my job choices and everything. But I find that, hey, spirituality can help me to escape. When I'm looking back at those time, like those early years, I just feel that I use spirituality in replacement of whichever guy I was pinning after. It's literally the replacement. So I was like, fuck
Yep.
guys, like let them go. And then I was like, spirituality.
So you
Yeah.
replaced it.
Yeah, it's a replacement of guys, so that you do not need men in your life, but you need spirituality in your life. I was just like, that is insightful. I feel called out.
Yeah.
I'm done. Share the work today.
That's enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's important, just like with anything in life, to have like a healthy relationship with it, but even more important, like a solid foundation. Like, what kind of got you into this? Is it because you downloaded TikTok and the TikTok lady is saying, if you don't get rose quartz, you're never going to find love? Or is it because like you're really heartbroken and like you want to learn how to like heal your heart, and you're like genuinely interested in like learning your self-sabotage ways? 'Cause that's also really fucking important. Excuse my French, but sorry. But that is really important. Like, what is your motive behind this? Are you just carrying around your lapis lazuli because all the cool kids are doing it, or is it because like you genuinely have like issues with your throat chakra and you're like really trying to learn how to communicate and set boundaries? Because then it's like, and I mean, listen, I'm like, not like, I mean, I am kind of judging, let me be honest, but it's like, even if you do want to do it for show, like, fine, whatever. But it just it rubs me the wrong way. Cause then it's like people don't take it seriously. Like, no offense, but it kind of like degrades like the actual work we've done, where it's like, no, you've sat with your shadow self for years. Like, your manipulative tendencies, or what triggers your ego. And then it's like these people think they can like go to their local crystal shop and get the tarot deck and charge $50 for a reading, and they don't even know where their third eye chakra is, or they've never even sat with their wounded masculine and asked what he needs. They don't even know, you know I don't know, their wounded inner child and what they need. Because all of that, truly, why I am so good at what I do with my clients and why I understand them so well, is because it took me years to develop these skills. Like, I can taste what my client had for lunch. Like, I can hear their 6-year-old inner child from 2000. Like, I can, connect with the chakra and see which one is most, damaged, because I've done that with myself. Because I didn't just, start getting attuned to Reiki and then like, oh, let me just go do it. Like, no, I practice on myself. I practice on the people around me. Like, this, I take this so seriously. And it's also not even like, in, what do you call it? Like, like I don't come from Japan. Like this isn't, like I that's not in my blood. Like I want to be as respectful as possible to this, practice and like, understand like, the Reiki masters who came before me and all that. And it's like you can't just like get attuned to Reiki and like, oh, let me charge $80 for, session when you've been attuned for a week. It doesn't work like that. So, it takes time, like just with any skill, with chess, with softball, with surfing, it takes time. So, yeah.
I love what you're saying. Yeah, I love what you're saying. One
Thank
moment.
you.
I thought you just like,
Bring in the laugh slowly.
Oops, I don't know where I left. I love it there. You can hear me a lot of time about this. Like, where's your crystal? My crystal, I think somewhere around.
And they just come. They bring themselves. You're like, this wasn't on the couch yesterday. You were in my bedroom.
Yeah.
Mind their
Yeah, but I really agree with what you're saying about, people get attuned to Reiki and just think that, hey, I am able to do it tomorrow. Like, yeah. It's just that, yes, that like I do believe that people do have like they bring over the skill from the past life and everything. They bring over their wisdom from the
Yes.
past life and everything. It
Yes.
does. Okay, we all do that. However, it still takes time for us to remaster it. Like I do think the remastering time is very important. It's not just that, oh, you learn something for 4 hours and you master everything. Like it does not happen that way. Like not on earth. Like your memories get wiped when you reincarnate into this lifetime. So you still need time to, remaster, re-familiarize yourself with the skill that you have learned before. I think that is something a lot of people don't really get it, or they're just like you say, a bit kind of like, I don't like to use the word lazy, but there is a little bit of that over there.
Yes. Well, I think it speaks volumes of the society we're in. Like quick fixes, fast food, like fast people, fast cars. Like it's just everything. Like there's no attention to detail. There's no letting yourself be inexperienced. There's no being patient with yourself or your craft. It's just like constant like need for gratification. Like I have to do this. And I think that is like just playing out in society in so many ways, but like unfortunately it's also playing out in like spiritual practices where it's like, okay, like I got my cards read, like now I know what I need to do, let me go like buy my own deck. And it's like, whoa, like what's calling you to this, because this is like very ancient stuff. Like I don't know for you if you've had past lives doing what you do today. Like I have like it's like it truly is like in your DNA. It's like it's within you. And I think that's why I don't know, it does trigger me a bit when it's just like, oh, like, hey guys, like got my new tarot deck. Like I don't know. I can't, it's a frustrating thing to kind of articulate, but like, because they're not disrespecting, and I know people don't mean to. I honestly feel like it's just like my past life coming through where it's like, if it's not respected, then it just like really angers me. That's something I have to deal with. But that does just make it more like saturated. So it's like, I know the intent is good, but like, let yourself be the student first. And I think people's egos are very big and they don't want to be the student and they just want to jump right in. And don't get me wrong, like you can jump right in and still be super successful. Great for those people. But I do think the quality is there when people do take their time with it. I think that's a noticeable thing that maybe if you don't take your time with it and you rush into it and you're just not in your body and you're hanging out in the 5D and that can show through in the sessions. Whereas like when you're grounded and you're in your body and not everything has a meaning, because also that is just really anxiety inducing also. Like get like, oh my God, my train said 555. What kind of change is coming? Oh my goodness, the car said 888 in front of me. Like, am I gonna have trouble with my finances? Like, nah, you just the guy who moved into your lane, that was his license plate. Cause I was one of those people in 2018. So basically just kind of talking about myself when I speak for this. But you go crazy and then you try and like make sense of it, and it's not that's like you're not supposed to be doing that, and it's just stressful, and then you miss out on like actually living your life.
Yes.
So again, that fine balance of knowing when the signs are like truly meant for you, like now especially with like my relatives who have deceased, I'm not looking for them in everything I do. Like I know they're already with me. So when I know I'm getting a sign from them, oh my goodness, do I know it's from them? Like it's so blatantly obvious.
Yes.
Whereas like just seeing 222 everywhere and 555 and a feather, girl, no, the seagull just lost its feather on the sidewalk. It's really
Yeah, that poor bird just like I lost my feather over here. Like
yeah. and the seagull's just like judging us like these silly humans, like they gotta like like that girl, I'm just shedding. I just plucked my feather out, you know? So
I have been there. I personally have been there, but more related to people, because back then I was one of the twin flame person. So I was just like looking 222. Okay, my twin flame. Okay, my twin flame.
oh my God, if I just love myself more, they'll love me. Okay, I'm loving myself more. Why do they not love me?
I
That's not the
know.
point.
It's just like, oh wow, like nowadays I still get messages and numbers from the connection that I had, okay, but I'm
Yeah.
no longer connecting twin flame. It's just that whenever he like kind of like his energy jumps up, it's just like so obvious. It's just like nowadays I'm just like looking at my the number, I'm just like, yo, what's up? Like, go about your life. I'm going about my life,
Speak up, something like because our higher selves are like everywhere and there's no time or space. So they're like, oh, like let me try and connect with her from like 3 months ago. But like 3 months ago, you is not you anymore. So you're like, okay, well, if you need to say something, you can communicate to me in a human body.
Yes, physical way, please. Yes, exactly.
I dealt with that for a while. So I totally empathize with that. But that was also like I was not in my body because I was literally communicating with their higher self. And so honestly, I do that in my sessions. Like that's how I'm able to like read tarot and stuff and do my Reiki is like I connect with your higher self. But literally just doing that with one person for like years and like it's so energy consuming, especially when like I had absolutely zero boundaries, like would not even be able to define boundaries 6 years ago because I did not know what they were. But like energetic boundaries are a thing too.
Yes.
In like the
Totally.
5D, like I
Yeah.
always know, always. I always know, and not because I'm vindictive or sneaky, but because I always try to do right by people. And my higher self will always let me know when that's not being reciprocated. I'll always know when someone's talking shit about me or plotting or planning because I will have this burning rage towards them that is so how can I explain it? Like unnecessary. Or I will literally have, like, I can hear my higher self fighting with them. And so that's when I just straight up call my energy back. We're done. We're cutting cords with that. We're protecting my little higher self in some rose colored energy. But yeah, like energetic boundaries are a thing too. Like if you can't stop thinking about a person or you're just like weirdly like fighting with them in the astral, it's usually them tugging on your energy, which is what I experienced as of recent, like a couple of days ago, where I was like, I had to call my energy back from this person because I was so angry at them for like I mean, they were doing shitty things because they're a shitty person, but I was like, okay, this is like not healthy for me. Like I could feel the anger. So yeah, energetic boundaries are a thing too, which if you're in the 5D all day, you're not really gonna have.
Notice.
Yeah. No, yeah. So
Exactly.
just like in you need boundaries. It's the same thing energetically. If you could feel people tugging on you, if like again, like you can't stop thinking about them, it's usually like your energetic boundary is being crossed.
Yeah, so totally true. And also but I was like, yeah, something that is coming to my mind is just like I can't really phrase them to words yet. Is that yes, sometimes when you're thinking about the person for a long time, like the whole day or something, or like when you are like, let's talk back on my twin flame situation back then, it's just that your energy will get mixed so much so, and it will naturally that you will have like dreams about them, you will see their names popping up and everything because your energy is already so mixed with them. Yeah, so it is something that I think more people can get benefit to like look into, and not say that you need to distance yourself from the person or you need to stop thinking about them because we know that it is impossible, but like admit to yourself that you have been, like that is something that is a big part of your life for that few days or so. Like you have been thinking about them, maybe you're in anger or maybe you're just obsessing over them. You have been like admit that, at least like admit that, and it will bring out healing, basically that.
I truly, so with my experience, the one and only thing I took away from it was unconditional love.
Yes.
Like seriously, like whether it was a twin flame or not, like I truly learned what unconditional love was, whether they never saw me in that light. Like whatever purpose they came into my life for, I truly did learn so much about myself, regardless of whatever they thought about me. It really didn't care. And that was the beginning of my ego shattering, because it was like, what do you mean you could just like unconditionally love this person? But then we also had to learn like boundaries with self and like letting people do their own thing, which my shadow side we didn't really like, because I'm a control freak and a Capricorn. So it was like, well, what do you mean? Like, I'm doing all this work to like make you love me and I'm healing myself. And it's just like, okay, whatever. Like, I still don't see you like that. So truly my takeaway was just like unconditional love, like regardless of how crazy I felt or seemed, like truly I think in your heart, like when something was like is meant to be, regardless of like other people judging or whatever. I truly would not be able to have gone through what I went through if it wasn't for that ego shattering, but then also like holy shit, this like heart chakra awakening where you're like, oh my god, like we're all one, we're really all just walking around and don't know what's going on. Like there's so much that goes behind it. It's not just a you thing, it's so much bigger than you. And I think people don't understand that, like it goes so beyond you. And that's what I really appreciate about it, because it's not just about me learning how to love myself so a guy can love me. It's like you straight up have a mission that you can abandon anytime. And that's why I get so flustered when it's like, oh, like my abusive boyfriend is my twin flame and we're just really toxic and codependent. It's like, girl, define your ego, define what ego work even looks. It's so like played out. And it's like, I would not wish those like 4 years of spiritual growth on anybody, because it was so lonely and so heavy. But again, I would not be able to do what I do today if I had not gone through that experience. And also, like, yeah, just do what I do. I would not be able to do what I do. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Like I think for people like you and myself and a lot of other people that I'm seeing and following also. I feel that we are very good at what we do, okay, because we incorporate the lessons that we learn into the craft. We literally take them on. We face our demon. We didn't win the demon, but we face our demon, incorporate them into us, and then we be like, okay, so what's next? You know?
You said I love being a Capricorn because I don't go through bullshit for nothing. I will profit off of my hell.
Yes.
That's, I feel like, the contract that I made. Like, yes, I will have 4 years of absolute hell and go through the thick of it, learn how to go from hating myself to absolutely loving myself by getting rejected and all of my wounds and triggers coming up, and I cannot avoid it, and it's really gross and really ugly, and I kind of just have to be okay with it. But I know there's going to be thousands, literally thousands of people that I heal that is only able to come from going through my hell. So I would not trade any of that because it is so aligned, and it truly is such a gut feeling to know that, like, you don't just go through anything because the universe hates you. No, it's usually to teach you, to maybe even like help your future kids in some way. You got to clear some karma from 1492, or
Yeah.
you know, whatever it, we're not just walking around aimlessly. Like, there truly is a reason for why we go through stuff. Truly, no matter how sad I would get, because there would be times in my journey where I'm like, none of this matters, but you kind of just got to see the light and get to the thick of it to kind of understand that no, there is a reason for all of this, and having a healthy perspective on that to me equates to like a healthy crown chakra, because like a closed crown chakra to me is like no meaning to anything. Like, you don't see the light, you don't see the
Purpose.
reasoning, the bigger.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Totally feel that. Like the crown chakra is not talked enough in this way. I feel that in spiritual community, everyone is just like, open your crown chakra so that you get your spiritual gifts. But it's way beyond that. And also the third eye chakra is like this too, like always like open your third eye and open your crown. Personal experience, what I literally did that when I first started my spiritual journey. And after that, for weeks, I feel so ungrounded, as if like literally I was a spirit floating around everywhere. It's just that was such a, I would say, like, it is pretty much a horrible experience, I have to say. Like, you feel like you are zoned out from one situation, and then you'll be like coming back to another situation. That kind of ungroundedness. I don't wish that on home. Like, oh my God.
I think a lot of like derealization, depersonalization, which I actually suffered from for a few months in 2012. Nothing crazy. I just smoked, and then I was like, I'm not in my body for a couple months. Absolutely terrifying. And just like in general, I definitely think comes from an imbalance in those chakras. Not that your overactive crown chakra is the reason why you have anxiety, but I do think like a healthy way of like working with it and working on it can like decrease the amount of hell that your anxiety or depersonalization gives you, because like you can understand like, oh, like I did watch that scary movie last night, like it's still stuck in my third eye, let me go pluck it out with some, energy work or whatever. Those chakras, when they're like not balanced, it's terrifying. It's like you don't even know what's real. Like, you feel like you're in a snow globe. You truly question your existence, which is absolutely horrifying. Would not recommend. Work on the root chakra. Everybody, we all need to collectively work on our root and sacral, because we're just so, it's just everything is sexualized, or everything revolves around money. Like, literally everything.
I'll always be like, oh, root chakras. I think there is not one session that I'm working with my clients that does not address the root chakra. So I'm just like, guys, like really work with your root chakra. Learn to ground. At least, like, grounding does not have to be complicated. I always tell everyone, like, grounding does not mean that you have to buy a tons of crystal. You do not have to spend a tons of money. Grounding, okay, pick up a cup of water and start nourishing your own body. That is one.
Especially with people who have diagnosed or undiagnosed ADD, you need your fucking root chakra. You need that. Like literally it is your life force, because like today I woke up and I could tell my third eye overactive. I'm like, oh my God, like the weather's not great here in Washington. So I'm like, I knew the weather was like getting to me. I'm like, oh, I don't really want to like do that. And I'm like, no, we're going to go take our vitamin D droplets. We're going to throw the laundry in the washer, brush our teeth, make the bed, and just like things that grounded me. Literally, none of that was spiritual. I think the one spiritual thing I did was meditate, a 5-minute one on YouTube before our session earlier, because I was preparing. But that was it. Like grounding to me is doing what my body is telling me to do. And so, first of all, the day flew by. And it's not because I wasn't in my body. It's actually because I was in my body and enjoying everything that I was doing. Yeah, I think that's really all I wanted to say about that. But the root chakra is really important. And just like listening to your body too. Like if my body wants, to just eat no meat for a week, I'm going to listen to it. If I want a burger, I'm going to eat a burger, especially it's like really good for people who have like eating disorders, like me, because literally the point of having not the point, but part of having an eating disorder is literally not listening to your body, and just kind of listening to that inner meanie in your head. So if I really want soup, so I'm going to have like chicken ginger soup from Trader Joe's for dinner and a little bit of, because that's what I want. Whereas like, why would I not give my body what it doesn't want? I should do yoga tonight. Probably going to be too tired to do that, but whatever. So just like, you don't have to sleep with your jasper and your black obsidian and your black tourmaline and walk barefoot for 3 hours and like, no, because some of the most grounding energies I've ever been around were when I was just like having fun or just around like fun people. Like to me, I feel most grounded when I'm like laughing or when I'm being silly. It's not when thousands of dollars are coming in every week, or I'm very masculine and making a lot of decisions and being in charge and bossing people around. No, like I feel most grounded when things are running pretty smoothly because I'm literally listening to my body, which my spirit is in. So literally my body's just trying to talk through my spirit is just trying to talk through my body.
Yes.
I do that, I'm aligned, and things flow pretty smoothly. Or if they're not flowing smoothly, I'm able to deal with it so much better.
Yes. When you're in your body, like there's nothing, like it's not saying that nothing can face you, but it is pretty hard for them to face you when you are fully in your body.
Yes. And I know we speak of like the solar plexus being our like confident powerhouse, but honestly, like you can't like, how can I explain it? If you're not like in your body or you're not like really enjoying life or you feel secure, it's like really hard to feel confident. So I actually feel most confident when my root chakra is good because I'm secure and in my body. And most importantly, I feel safe. Like I've had to do a ton of root chakra work just because I've moved so much in the past year and a half. And I've had a lot of like death happen around me. And that just completely uproots everything. So yeah, my root chakra has been a little off, but I have been able to feel stable because I've listened to my body. And the third dimensional part of being a human is you also have to like have a job. And I've luckily been able to have like steady jobs. So it's been easier to understand like the roots and the causes for my root chakra being scattered. Because it's not like I lost the job and then I had to move, and it was like little things that I could heal and deal with. And then I also had like the other aspects of the root chakra that were like pretty taken care of for me, like housing and money coming in, that was secure. But then there was the other part of like, the emotional part of the root chakra. So there's so much that goes into it. So much.
Like every chakra is just, if you look it up online, just oversimplified. Like, yeah, they're just like, this chakra is for grounding. It's just like, wait, there is way beyond that.
It's so basic.
And, I mean, it's good for a beginner to start learning. Yes, beginners. But even beginners, I would encourage for one to really, try grounding, like just meditating on your root chakra. I think that will give you so much more information than any website will give you. Literally.
Or talking to your root chakra, like meditate on your root chakra. You might see some purple in there. Well, you know what that might mean? Like you have a really like vivid imagination, and you might feel most grounded when you're daydreaming or when you're creating or when you're providing psychic services for somebody. You might look in your root chakra and see a lot of orange. So you might feel most grounded when you're embracing your sensuality or your sexuality, or, finding groundingness through like pleasure. It's not like your root chakra is red. Like I look at it as like an aura. Like I'm seeing a lot of like blue in your heart chakra. So it's like you either don't like to express or communicate your feelings, or you love to do that. That might be your love language. So it's definitely not a one size fits all of like orange for sacral, yellow for solar plexus. Like, no, those like, think about like our energy and humans and our emotions. We're not just like always grounded. We're not always confident. We're not always sad. So I see the chakra colors kind of like moving around and like up and down. Yeah, that's how I view it.
Yeah, I love that. Personally, that was a bit shocking to me, because I went into Reiki with the knowledge of, red for root chakra, orange for sacral. Yeah, and I was like working with one of my chakras. I forgot. I think it's the heart chakra, and I found some purple into it. I was just like, wait, is this supposed to be the color?
Here? What are you doing here?
Yeah. It's nice. It's a very nice learning journey. Like Reiki, working with Reiki itself taught me so much more than the teacher can ever teach me. And I think that applies across the board for all other practices. Like working with it, letting it to teach you will, teach you more than anyone can teach you.
Yes. I'm literally self-taught in everything. I had somebody give me Reiki. They never taught it to me. I learned all of that on my own. I never once went to a tarot reading course or purchased, a session with the teacher or anything like that. I read one book, and that was like after I was like, I know what I'm doing, but let me be humble and like, I obviously know how to read tarot, but it never hurts to, and it's funny because in the book, she like mentions that like, even if you're like a seasoned tarot reader, it's always good to get like another perspective. And I'm like, yes, exactly. That's why I'm reading this book. So yeah, that's crazy. How long have you been doing Reiki?
I think I started in 2019.
Okay. That's
not
so
that
like
long.
2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah. And like Reiki taught me so much more. Like I find that 13 hand position does not work for me. And eventually, I started with the simple, and it was all fascinating and magical. And then after a while, it's just like, simple is too restricting for me, so I'm not using it.
It's versatile. Reiki is so literally, I feel like I've been connected to Reiki since I was like a little girl, because I remember just like using energy to like make things move quicker, or like being really in tune with stuff, and like basically like seeing the skeleton of like objects or even like people, like their essence or their soul. And then when I got attuned to Reiki, I'm like, oh, I know what this is. I wish I knew what this was when I was like 10. Like I remember being like I don't even know the word for it. It's clairvoyant, the one where you can see things. My parents be like, "Oh yeah, like my friend at work," and I'm like, "Oh, does she have like glasses and blonde hair?" And they'd be like, "How do you know that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just seeing her in my like head." And then Reiki like was kind of, I'm like, "Oh, like not that that's Reiki, but it helped me like piece together like energy and like seeing things. Like that was actually my third eye working when I was like 7 years old. Um, I love Reiki. It's helped so much. It's so good for anxiety. Honestly, I feel like Reiki flows when you're just like in good company. Like, you know, when you have a good conversation with a friend and you're like, that was really healing. Or like you get done with your therapist and you're like, that was a breakthrough. That's what Reiki is. It's just like a hug for your soul.
Yeah.
Makes you feel good.
You just channel it all the time. And the key is really everyone can channel it. It's not the
Yes.
way that from a lot of researchers online, and everyone's saying that you have to have a master to pass the Reiki to you. I was like, no, you don't have
You
to, because
don't.
it is inbuilt in everyone. Like
It's a, you know,
the concept that the teacher has to pass Reiki to the student is so that they can profit off you. Yeah,
I feel
literally.
that.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, like not to say that an achievement or a lesson is not helpful. I personally feel that I benefit from my lesson, but after
Yeah.
that I do learn so much more by just connecting with the Reiki itself and
Whatever
putting time into it.
you
Hmm?
know, whatever works for you.
Yes.
Whatever
Yes.
works. I think that's the best way to describe like spirituality is like, well, you know, whatever works for you. Like, you want to drop $1,000 on a Reiki class and it works for you, wonderful. If you want to just watch like a YouTube lady give it to you and you're like, oh my God, I fucking feel it, that works for you.
Yes.
Really, whatever you vibe with.
Yes. But one thing I want to emphasize it: do not take shortcut on that. Even though if like a teacher, $1,000 course teaching you, or that you get a achievement from YouTube and you start doing it, like do not take shortcut. Really look into it. Really, like if you want to do it on your own, you probably have to prepare to spend, hours, if not few months or years, to really research into it. Like,
Yes.
yeah, that is something very important.
Yes. And it is something you will continuously be learning.
Yes.
That's the fun thing about Reiki is like every session is so different. So different. It's not always like a Zen healing thing. Sometimes it's going to bring up like really deep shit.
Yes.
It's basically whatever the client or the practitioner is like ready to hear.
Yeah.
That's one thing about Reiki is there's no ego with Reiki. Reiki is literally just an energy. So just be prepared to face, you know, a lot of maybe deep subconscious stuff or heaviness or, you know, whatever it is, because the Reiki is going to do that.
My personal healing on myself usually go and dive deep down into healing like core wounds, inner child wounds, and I was just like, I'm done with you. I'm like, stop.
Do you remember
Stop
really
you.
cringy memory from when you were 5? Well, it's still affecting you today. You're like, oh
Yeah.
my God. Yeah. Yeah. Those deep emotions were like that one like core memory from like when you're real, you're like, that happened to me. Yeah. Reiki is a trigger. Truly. Reiki is such a
Yeah. It can go so deep. And I just like finding a lot of people find that say that it's not going that deep, but it goes as deep as you allow yourself to. Really. Yeah. It's not going to, because you have fear, okay, and it's not going to like stop there. Okay, it can go way deeper sometimes. Okay, and also it like how much you are ready for it, or you're just using it for superficial, activities and so on, then that would be a different story.
Reiki will go as deeply as you have met yourself.
True, very true on that. And I highly resonating with still being a student, even though I'm teaching Reiki right now. I still learn a lot, and every time I start a class, every different rounds of Reiki study, I always tell everyone like, I'm learning from you guys as much as you guys are learning from me. So yeah, like don't see me as a teacher. Like it's kind of like
yes, that like pedestal energy of like, well, we all have our flaws and stuff. Like you're not some cult leader, that's also in the spiritual Twitter. I've noticed is just like culty energy, like weird stuff. Yeah. I'm still amazed at Reiki. Like I'll go to sleep at night and I'll just like place my hands on my stomach and I'll like activate the Reiki. And I just wake up the next day like, oh my, like that was some deep sleep. Like I'm like, wow. It'll knock your
I love doing that as well, like giving Reiki, like wherever I feel called to, when I'm sleeping, just lying there, like Reiki myself.
Yeah. Or the like visions I get, it's like a tunnel when I do it on my third eye. It's like, oh my goodness, whoa.
I love that.
Yay.
Like that we touch on a lot. And I was just like a little pause over here. So I was like, what are we going to talk about? Like,
we talked about so much, just went by so fast. Like one hour flew by. I'm like, wait, what? It's already 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Wow.
Crazy.
Like again, like when you're doing things that you love, okay, and you're really in your body, you're in the present moment. Like also another good thing about like not let's say like another sign about like you're in the body and so on, apart from having a good time and you're enjoying yourself, you are very healing. I feel that this conversation itself is very healing. I'm taking a lot, I'm feeling like I'm taking a lot out of this conversation. Wow, it's just like mind-blowing a little bit.
It's because the energy is just so pure and we've done the work and it shows in how we show up for ourselves and show up for each other and can hold space and can empathize and bounce off of each other. Like just true authenticity. Like there's no mask, there's no dancing around a subject. It's just like pure love.
I love that. Your Pisces is showing.
Oh wait, you tell in my pants and my big
I love that.
I'm a grandma.
I love that.
Always comfy.
Yeah, always comfy. Yeah, I just reminded, like we are mentioning about, the increase. Okay, are we frozen?
Are we frozen?
One moment. I think I lost Jess.
Oh wait. I'm right here.
Okay. Welcome back. Oh, is it me? I do not know. Okay. Yes.
Can you?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay.
Can you see me? Yes, I can hear you.
I see and hear you. That was weird.
I was like, oops.
No.
Yeah, I was just reminded that a little bit of chit chat conversation that we're having before the start of the live is about like the increase of water intake. It is so crazy these days. Like I also want to mention to you that I have been drinking, like my bottle is 2 liter. 2 liter, and I have been drinking 2 bottles each day. Yes. I'm like, I don't know where my water gone.
Like half a gallon, I think. And tea. I've been drinking like a lot of tea. Like my body, I'm feeling like a reset. Like my body like cleansing time, which is weird because it's like gonna be winter and it's fall, so we usually like stock up on things and our body usually craves more because it's just genetics and DNA. Their body's literally like, oh, well, it's going to be cold now, or we have to go find the food and stock up. But I've been noticing like a cleanse, like a detox in the air, like
It
just
does.
really craving like fruits and like grapes specifically, like really craving grapes. I don't know.
For my side, it's all the pickled foods, all the fermented food, and I'm just like, wait, what?
What? That's random. Like pickles and stuff.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I'm literally like, body, what are you doing?
pickles are
Well,
yummy. I'm like, is there a vitamin in pickles? Like maybe your body, is it like, it's not acidic. I'm trying to think of like what's in it that maybe your body like wants, or you're just straight up craving pickles.
I
Like the
have no
salt,
idea.
maybe like salty things.
Salty things and also like fermented food, which I
Ferment.
know that it helps to help to detox as well. It helps to give the good bacteria into your
Yeah.
stomach and to detox and everything. So
Yeah.
just like, interesting.
Okay. Like a probiotic.
Yeah,
Got it. Okay. Like a gut
yeah,
cleanse.
yeah. So it is very interesting. I can see that it's in the air because on Twitter everyone was mentioning about that as well. I'm just like, so
Really?
people do
I'm
that.
not even on Twitter like that these days. So I'm like, and the algorithm is so stupid. Like it just shows me tweets I don't even care about. I'm like, where are the followers I interacted with 2 years ago? They're like, there's nowhere to be seen. It's so weird. It's such a weird like ocean of just randomness in Twitter.
I have to admit that for Twitter, I actually do a lot of work to filter things out. So I'm only seeing the latest tweet. And apart from that, I actually went to every profile and turned off their retweets. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm following this person because I like their energy, but I might
Yeah.
not like the energy of what they are retweeting. So I'm just going to turn off.
Oh, wow, that's smart. That is smart.
Yeah, like now my timeline is just like way better. Like,
Cleaner, fresher. There's a lot of hostility on that app. A lot of anger.
yeah,
It's like
it
like
does.
no matter what opinion you have, there's just anger from every direction. Like it's not. It's like I think it's one of the most toxic apps, honestly.
Twitter is
But
Aries, so
I know, but also I love it because I've met so many amazing people off of it, like you.
oh, and you like when I found you on Twitter, I was just like, I have to try, just healing for once. Yeah, I'm so glad that I did. Like,
So too, I feel like you bought like an inner child session in like early 2019.
yes, that was my face. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and look at us now, almost 2 years later.
Yes.
Wait, no, more than two. Could be
2019.
it could be 3 years. Oh my God. Oh my goodness, that's so scary. Time is so weird. Oh my God. I
Time is
can't.
not real. Time
It's
is
literally
not real.
it's literally not real because somebody explains to me how 3 years ago feels like 2 weeks ago for me. How?
Yeah. And some of the things that happened 2 weeks ago feel like 5 years ago.
Feel like not even you.
Yeah.
It's
That's that.
so crazy. So
So
crazy.
I'm just like, wow, time. It like
It's just we're existing in it and it's truly not even linear. Literally not linear. Literally not linear. So,
yeah.
mhm.
So I think, anything you like to add with today's conversation on down to earth spirituality?
Hmm.
Any,
Listen to your body. That's my biggest thing. Listen to your body. What does your body need? What does your spirit need? They're both connected. Literally, I became so abundant and handled the pandemic with ease. That's not me bragging. That's literally the reality I was in. It was ease and not negating other people's chaos because I was in my body. Because I listened to it, I fed it the food it needed, I did the exercises it felt called to, and everything in my life flowed so easily because there is an energy attached to the things that your body needs and craves. And so when you give it that, you're literally opening yourself up to just alignment and love and ease. And I noticed when I'm more sluggish or just a little more chaotic, like my brain's just like beep boop beep bop bop beep, like not working, when I'm not listening to what my body actually wants or what it needs. So if you've listened this whole time, just listen to your body. That's my thing.
Yeah, that is like the biggest, like best advice. Like I wish someone gave me this advice when I first started. Like literally.
Oh, I had to learn the hard way.
Same. Like,
but we go through it so other people don't have to or have to as bad.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that is a very beautiful advice. And what I was like thinking about that. Yes, don't seek for outside, like don't seek about, you know, more spiritual, but seek to be more human, more you. I think that is one of the very important ones.
In a world that's literally trying to get rid of humans and replace them with self-checkout and robots and other weird things, just really embrace being human. We're not bad. We're not. I hate when people are like, "Oh, humans are the worst." Like, we're really not. Like, we're pretty cool. We can do so much. Yeah, it's this weird like self-hatred with our species that like other species don't have. It's really weird. Like, I truly think human beings at our core, we just really want love and to be loved. And like, I know I'm a Pisces moon, but like, even if I wasn't into spirituality, I truly think I would be saying that as well. Because spirituality taught me about love and unconditional love. But humans aren't like messed up or anything. Like, that is our ego talking. People are just what they are. And I don't even know where I was going with this. Oh, it was like the spirituality and I really don't even know where I was going with this. Like, I'm like getting a little loopy over here.
Yeah, but I resonate with what you're saying. I think people are just misguided. We are not horrible. We are not bad. We were being taught that way, and a lot of people do not see that there are options beyond what they were taught.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So I hope that, you know, everyone listening, like, stop seeking, you know, outside. Like, I mean, it's cool to be a starseed. It's cool to be an ascended master. It's cool that your past life doing whatever that they do, okay? But you here, and you're here now. Like, embrace this.
Yes. I feel like that's also something we struggle with, is just like owning it, like owning all of it. Like, I think that self-hatred comes from not being able to own all parts of who you are. And then what's getting even worse is like the projection of that onto like people and strangers. Which is a little terrifying because it's like, because somebody can't accept themselves and they project that onto somebody else. But we're humans. That's also what we came here to do. It's part of the human experience to experience all these weird things that we do. But I don't think that calls for self-hatred. I truly think it calls for more love and more compassion, especially with ourselves.
More compassion. That is a very good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am, like, it is such a beautiful conversation.
Yes.
And I think that we come to a very good place to close this today.
Yes, me too. Yes.
Yeah. So that I would let you go back to your evening. Oh yeah, before we go, like you have anything you like to promote, anything you like to share?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So if anyone's interested in a healing session or a tarot reading, you can visit my website, here to heal, HereToHeal 101.com. You can even send like an inquiry and message me, Instagram, Twitter, same handles. For clients who are watching this, text me. I'm really close with my clients. Um, yeah, that's all I got.
Yes, I will have all your link down on the description below later, and hopefully I can get this on my blog again later and so on. So yes, thank you
Cool,
so much for joining.
cool. Thank you for having me. Seriously, I appreciate it. And you.
I appreciate you too. Like, thank you, Jess. Like, thank you for showing us, like, being the example of living your life, like, through spirituality. Like, you're literally living a very down to the earth life. And I really, really love it. Like, I
Oh,
love seeing, I'm just like, oh, she's there living her life, being the example. Like, let's do this.
thank you, Paige. Thank you for seeing that in
I
true
love
Capricorn
you.
fashion. I love you. We'll talk soon.
Yeah. Talk to you soon. See
Bye.
you.